Welcome to After Dark at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, featuring Katrina Ness, Vanessa Collins, and Ted Ings. This episode is brought to you by BG Products, partners beyond products. And now for your hosts, Ted Ings, Vanessa Collins, and Katrina Ness.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Monday, and welcome to the Fixed Ops Roundtable's After Dark show. Tonight, we are joined by the Service Director at Carter Myers Automotive's Valley Dealerships, Robert Migs.
How you doing, everybody? Good to see everyone.
Robert, great to see you. Vanessa, great to see you, and Katrina, too. You guys are back from your trips.
Yes, we are.
A little vacation. I loved the new intro, Ted. Fits the theme very well. It looks great.
Yeah, I would say we're in full Knights of the Roundtable mode. People know all about it. I've had speakers coming dressed up. So let's continue with the dressed up theme. In fact, Robert, I had somebody come and bring an actual dragon, okay, like a stuffed dragon. And I had people with backgrounds and castles. And, Robert, really, amazing stuff this time around. The word is out on Knights of the Roundtable, Robert.
Yeah, I was not prepared for this one at all. I don't think I have an ounce of it in the house to utilize or bring to the table to even kind of step in.
No swords laying around or anything?
No, I thought maybe we would have had something, but I don't think so.
Well, we're going to learn a little bit more about Robert tonight, everybody. And Katrina, if you would remind everybody when this event is coming up, including ourselves, because I know it's coming up right around the corner.
Of course. So our next event will be January 29th through February 1st, the Knights of the Roundtable event. And of course, as you all know, you can get your tickets now at fixedopsroundtable.com. We'll see you there.
Yep, big event. A lot of speakers, a lot of panels. And Sean Kingery has joined the anchor image there. And Sarah's involved, Tully and Ed and everybody who's on the screen here. So very grateful to everybody for their support. And comments are starting to roll in now. So Mitch, thank you so much. Sean, good evening. Understand some weather headed your way. Jim Sabino, great to see you today on the panel. Jamie is, hey, Robert, Jamie Alexander is going to be on a panel later this week, and then she's doing a Q&A as well.
There we go.
Yeah.
All-star list, Ted. You got a number of people on there, man. It's growing.
Yeah, we got some good friends. So, so Robert, what have you been up to? You got a lot happening there.
Not too much. 2023 was definitely a handful of a year. We had a lot of growth throughout our dealer group, a lot of growth in our Valley stores, and myself personally just kind of closed out where we've been and what I've been doing, and kind of pushing my social media presence as much as possible and getting Fixed Ops out there, trying to, I guess, compete with you, Ted. I got to try to keep up with you.
You are all over TikTok, Robert. You're one of the few service directors I know who's in the shop, and like every day you got like a lot of videos going on.
We're trying. I'm trying to kind of bring it into a different avenue with the service side. There's a good mix that's out there, and just trying to kind of share exactly what we got going on. And I love kind of posting it across all platforms and getting out there between TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, just kind of pushing CMA, pushing the culture, pushing my brand, everything, and trying to make it look good.
Why TikTok? Why'd you pick that one?
I honestly think the platform does a great job of just kind of universalizing how you make some of the videos and making it a simple place to put them together. And then again, I can take them and just share them across every other platform easily in the same boat. So it kind of makes for a pretty seamless aspect for me to go through and get everything up I need to.
Super. Good. So it's your first chance to meet the ladies from Northwood here?
It is. I've been following these ladies here as they've been growing with the Fixed Ops Roundtable, and they're doing a phenomenal job. They're definitely holding down the Fixed Ops world for us appropriately. And
you're very complimentary. I notice in the chats and all that, and you see the need to bring people into our industry, Robert. I know you're aware of that. So
we do, yeah. No, it's definitely a focus. It's something that we need more of, and it's nice to see it. I wish I would see it more on my side in the shop directly, and we do our best to try to make sure we give every opportunity as they come up to any female trying to come through the automotive side and Fixed Ops. But no, it's heavily needed. They bring a whole different formalization of what they do and how they do it. So it's great to see the different innuendos that they kind of put in there. So it's real nice on how it comes together.
Well, ladies, I know you have some questions, so I'm going to step out of the way and let you ask away about it.
Yeah. So how did you get into automotive in general and fixed stops? What kind of brought you into the industry?
So I started out as some of the growing aspects of fixed operations. I started out detailing cars and slowly but surely worked my way up through the whole backside of fixed operations. So I worked as a detailer, I worked as a parts delivery guy, and then a shipper receiver, counter guy in parts, assistant parts manager, and then I made the switch at a dealer group I was working for to the service side of things and started working as a service advisor, service manager, fixed ops director, and whatnot from there. So over the last 23 years, it's been a hustle, been a grind, but I've done pretty much every position on the backside of the house, they say, and just trying to keep learning and growing and see where I can take it from. But it's been a lot of fun. I think it's always just been in my blood. I like cars growing up. I like playing with them. I like messing with them. Really any and everything we could do to I guess you could say modify them or accessorize them we were doing when I was learning to get a vehicle and drive and all that stuff. So it's been a lot of
fun. Awesome. Well, follow-up question. What was it that attracted you to CMA and had you move your family to Virginia?
So we were, actually, I'll say we were. I was looking for kind of a change of pace from the north, you can say. We're not too far south, but there's a debate of whether or not we're in the South in Virginia or not. Most people say yes, most people say no. I guess you could say it goes both ways. But we were looking just for a change of pace, and I personally was looking to make a big change in life in general for myself. And I felt the only way to do that was to really kind of clean up and move far enough away from everything that we were around to get that to really grow and manifest and happen. So looking for auto groups and looking for dealer groups that fit what I was kind of looking for as far as a place to work and ideals and their vision, their values. And obviously CMA came up a lot of times when I was working through that, connected through social media. Is how I kind of first got involved with finding them and seeing who they were. And from there, we ended up, I reached out to Scott Simons, who's our president and executive manager down here in the Valley Stanton stores, and talked to him about an opportunity that was here. And we discussed some things, and obviously we're about 6 hours apart at that point in time. And they wanted to kind of focus on what it would take to come down and work in Virginia versus living in Pennsylvania, moving a family down, living, all that stuff that kind of comes with having to move. And we did some spot checks. I came down to the stores by myself one day and kind of interviewed with everybody to make sure everything was what it was online. I guess you could say was probably close to where we were, just to see if they were what they were in person versus just on social media. And lo and behold, it kind of took on its own path. And probably over the next 3-4 months, we kept talking, and we made the decision to try to put it together. And in doing so, they ended up bringing my family down and interviewing my family as part of the onboarding process to make sure I had support from them, from both my kids and my wife, as well as us having any questions and support in the aspect of what they would be doing, bringing us on and making sure that we were going to be able to sustain living down here and also be able to kind of grow and whatnot in the area. So it took a little bit of time, but yeah, it was definitely a big interest, and finding a home in a store that kind of embodied everything I wanted to work for and work with, and be able to take what I was doing in Pennsylvania down here and doing it the same way. Because I worked for a great auto group in Pennsylvania at the time. Ultimately, we were just looking for a kind of a change of pace completely, and put us down here in Virginia, and ultimately inland a little bit more in the mountains comparative to where we were. And but it's been nice. It's a beautiful area down here. The family's doing great. The kids are doing awesome. So it's really cool to kind of see how it all came together.
So I have, if I'm a quick follow up, and then was the fact that Liza is a part of that organization, was that a factor at all in any
So
of your decisions?
Liza was part of the initial contact that I had. Some of the other auto industry leaders, obviously Glenn Lundy was a focal point in how I kind of got the connection through the group, and then through watching kind of how they were doing their social media presence, because they were real big in growing their social media at the same time as well. So we saw where they were going. I saw where Liza was going, and then obviously that allowed me to meet Scott, allowed me to meet Josh and Don, and all the other people that were kind of transitioning and moving cross country to come work at CMA. We have tons of people who have come from different states over, from Ohio, from Wisconsin, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York State. So we have people that have moved from all over to work down here. So seeing some of that and the novelties of it, and trying to get an idea of, like, why are people willing to pack up their families and move over here and work for the company? And a lot of it was just coming back to, the desire and want to work for CMA and with CMA to progress forward in what we're doing. And like Beth said there, the culture was just amazing. So it kind of just fit the bill all the way around.
It's important. It's important to work somewhere where you have similar values with and love to be at, And
Yeah.
I think it's so funny that they interviewed your kids and your family, but after you kind of explained why, it makes sense, because again, a support system with moving down and taking your whole family with you is always important.
And that's all it was. So.
Yeah. A little bit of a switch. So how do you feel that social media is changing fixed operations?
So for me, I see kind of where we're at, and social media has always been a presence on the sales side. I feel they've always taken the focus on it to try to promote car sales. I think it allows you to go nationally a little bit more when you do automotive. So we do push that, and we take the ability to sell a car in any state across the United States, and really focus on the fact that we could do that. So for myself, I had to take a look at that and kind of take that into play on how you can do that for fixed operations and what you can do with that. So like Ted said, platforms like TikTok, just showing the fun we have in the shop. We do a lot of videos on our builds that we do, being that we're Chrysler Dodge Jeep store. So, we're putting lift kits on vehicles, we're doing wheels and tires, and, all kinds of light bars and winches and all different accessories that make the vehicle more personalized. So we're embodying that aspect of it and taking it into a place of visualizing and giving CMA kind of a name nationally, if not globally, in some aspects, to really shine on what we do. And then ultimately, my focus, then I had to identify with a customer base in order for fixed operations really to have a footprint on what we do. So I had to tailor how I was growing my friends and connections on social media to make sure that they were able to utilize the benefits of what we offer in our location. So we had to look at locality for each store and what we were bringing, try to stay focused on the presentation that we were given, that we were staying on track for the CMA, vision, and not kind of getting off of what that looks like in a whole. So that way we're all kind of marrying across it. So it's definitely changing. You can see a lot, you can find out a lot. Obviously, you can really figure out what you need to fix on your vehicle on any, internet based anymore at this point in time. So I think it's allowed us to be transparent, show that we're humans. It's not a numbers world all the time. We can actually connect with people, make relationships, and take care of their vehicle and represent them well.
This person in the chat right now, this gentleman named Eric, you know him, right, Robert?
I do, sir. I do very well.
So I want to announce tonight that Eric is going to be moderating a panel at the upcoming Fixed Ops Roundtable, and that's going to include our good friends Sean Butler, Daryl Terrell, Michael Moore are going to be on that panel. So Eric, great job, and hope that's the first of many to come for you here on the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Ray Hernandez is with us tonight, and of course our great friend John Fairchild. And that word culture keeps coming up, Robert.
It is, and I think those that have kind of followed CMA understand that it's a top-down situation, and those two right there definitely kind of embody it for us and what we offer. Liza obviously is kind of the head of our CMA. Scott is our valley leader, and both, if anything, do nothing but try to promote CMA and what we do across the board.
Fascinating stuff. And, Liza has just created a whole different platform with a different mindset. And she's really grown that organization with people like Scott, like
Mhm.
yourself. And I see the CMA Day that you post once a month on social media. Tell us, what is CMA Day? Because, you promote that, and so does the rest of the organization pretty well.
Yeah. So CMA Day is actually ends up being, you don't see too much of it every time, but it's pretty much every Wednesday, the first 3 Wednesdays of the month. So the first Wednesday is a company-wide training and growth that we spend an hour on. So everybody in the organization is connected through that. So we record it as well for those that can't make it on. But everybody that can jump on live, it's a live training that we do as a company. And then we do, the second week tends to be a leadership training for all leaders throughout the company. Same thing, we'll do a hour-long training seminar where we're all engaged in some form of growth, whether it's personal or professional in that regard. A lot of it kind of tends to hit on both scales and allow us to do both, because obviously it takes both sides of those things in order to grow it. And then the third Wednesday is as our upper leadership, our executive managers, our general managers, and the executives from CMA. So they'll get together and they'll have a final day of training themselves where they'll get together and kind of embark on it. So and each one is catered a little differently to the group, but each path kind of follows the same learning curve of what we're working on. So everybody's going through the same process in different steps, and then we just kind of keep going on it. So, but it's definitely unique. It's a little different. I know a lot of groups that are not really kind of getting too deep in that, but for us to have a little over 1,100 plus associates welcome to a dealership or a company sponsored training in that regard, and taken so serious. And then Liza will go over, typically the first one of the month, since it's for everybody, she'll go over highlights from the month for sales staff, personnel. We send in, kind of like kudo videos or conversations about people who've done what we kind of feel into the CMA people aspect of things and what they're doing, and that they're living up to the vision and values of the company. And when they do, we spotlight them and make sure that they get some love across the month and throughout the week. And we kind of put it everywhere. We try to share it out to them all over.
Awesome.
We haven't seen Michelle McLean, Katrina, on here in a while, so I'm really honored to have Michelle.
Yes.
But it looks like she's
I'll take credit for it, Michelle.
She said she's been busy, so
working on our roundtable content all day, probably for us.
Maybe. Is there another roundtable?
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, maybe. Michelle, very grateful to you for all that you do, and I think John Fairchild, says it right there as well. So, Robert, Carter Myers, one of the best dealer groups in the country, obviously a place that people want to work for, right? So, what are your plans for 2024?
2024, we live by a word that we try to go by, and this year, or I should say, my 2023 word was standby, which was to be available to either my staff, the company, or my family, whoever it was, to be there on standby, ready to go to jump in and help and take care of anybody's needs that they ask for. So moving into 24, my word for this year is going to be expand, and I'm going to be looking at how we can kind of grow, and both the company personally, professionally, and the people around me. I'm going to try to make sure everybody is going in a forward path. So we're going to do some fun things in 2024. I think you can see a lot more social media, try to do a lot more video content, more so than just post, and really kind of just keep sharing the name and getting the brand out there and what we're doing. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So besides the social media that you've been really involved in, what are some other current trends that have been on the automotive service side of the industry that you and your dealership are, adapting to?
Sure. So I think one of the biggest one, obviously, and I can say we're probably a little behind the curve on it, which is hard for us to really kind of say sometimes, but as everything's transitioning to the video MPI, we're putting a large focus on it this year in 2024 to make sure that we don't have it spotted throughout the auto group, but that we're doing it at all of our stores, and we're trying to kind of come into the focus of what the customer's needs are and what the customer's wants are. And obviously there's a lot of statistics around the video aspect of video MPI and how it is more beneficial for the customer, helps out in regards to their understanding of what's going on with repairs or maintenance items that they need. And that ultimately kind of builds and gathers up that open transparency and again, comes back kind of to the relationship. It proves that everything is what it is. When you see it with your own eyes, you can't really kind of fake it at that point in time. So it's going to build a lot of good stuff for the consumer base as well as the employees and the staff itself. I think it's just going to help build a lot of open transparency and communication between us and the customers moving forward.
Yeah.
Are you doing video MPI now, I assume?
We are. We're working on it in a couple of our stores. We have a good amount of our stores in our auto group are on different platforms. We're trying to centralize it to figure out exactly which one we're going to stick with here throughout and make kind of standard, I guess, across the board. But one of the best things we learned is we have to use what our staff is going to use. So we're trying to find what fits appropriately. So each store may be on something a little bit differently at the end of the day, but the same common goal is what we're looking for at the end, which is to make sure everybody's just on it and doing it. And manufacturers are pushing on us as well to get it done. So it's becoming more and more important at this point in time that we kind of get in it, try to get in front of it a little bit better than we have.
So Robert, we're working on a project with Tully Williams at the Nilo company and with Cox Automotive together on a project on how to do these tech videos and how to do service advisor videos to update the customer. So we're actually sending our film crew out to see Tully before the next event coming up here at the end of January. Our film crew is going to spend a couple days out there, and then we're going to ask Katrina and or Vanessa if they want to go out to Sacramento to the Nilo group to help do some of those tech videos and service advisor videos, as part of our work that we're doing there. We think that's really fascinating. I agree with you. That's going to be the area of growth. And that's got to be, Robert, $1 billion industry or more right now.
Yeah, it's huge. And obviously there's a lot of companies out there, and that's where we're kind of focusing on what we need to do in order to keep it moving forward. I guess it is what it needs to be. We got to get it done.
You heard me call your name, Tully. Okay, Happy New Year.
I'm here now.
So Tully, we're looking forward to all the good things that you're doing with tech and service advisor videos out there at Nilo. And there's a comment in here from Ray Hernandez. I don't know if you saw that just a few moments ago. What does CMA do differently to recruit and retain techs?
So we got a couple of different things that we do. Obviously, in the recruiting aspect, one of the comments in there is from Beth. She's our corporate recruiter. She spends a lot of time working with the trade schools from high school, college, in the local areas in our market specifically to get us involved, as well as like myself and a couple other the service managers and directors. We are involved with the boards for those as well, and when we're engaged in making sure that the school has the support they need, and then we're supporting them as well with getting the students in. We do a lot of kind of career days within some of the auto groups and where we're at with our with the schools compared to where the stores are. So when they're close enough, we'll have career days. We'll bring the family in, we'll bring the students in, and let them all see what Automotive has to offer. Show them that it's not a just a pointless kind of career path. It can be a very lucrative kind of business to work in for a trade. And then as far as our retaining technicians, obviously we being an ESOP company, the technicians are just as familiar with the rest of the staff on that so ESOP is employee stock option. Every employee at that point in time becomes an owner in the company. We do retention bonuses for the technicians specifically to help keep them long-term, where we pay them a bonus out at the end of the year based on all their hours turned. And then we also do, at the end of the year, we do what's called Myers Flyers, which is our best of the best throughout the whole auto group. So they'll take the top performing sales staff, F&I, service advisors, and technicians. They'll all get ranked throughout the auto group, and the top performers throughout the stores and the auto group will actually get taken out. They get a whole kind of banquet hall, wine and dine kind of thing. And then they get a room with some cash to spend. And they're there to go, and it's them and a guest, so they get to bring somebody with them as well to kind of get it, and they're awarded kind of gifts and things like that they've earned throughout the year for being part of that. And I think it's really helped for us for what we do, and it allows us to utilize all that into the apprentice program, tech training and stuff like that we use in-house then at that point in time to then take what we are doing and grow our own and make our shop self-sustainable at that point in time. So we're not always trying to find the next A-list performer, but building our own A-list at that point in time, and really having a strong culture within the shop, because everybody's coming up together at that point in time and growing together. They're helping each other. They're working with each other. They're training each other. It's a lot of fun to watch it all come together. It really is.
So I know at some point soon, Vanessa and Katrina are going to get to meet you and Liza in person. Just give us the geography again. Where is it based? And I know it's expanded now out into other states. So kind of give us the geography on that.
Yeah. So we're centralized through Central and Northern Virginia. We go all the way out from pretty close to the coast out in Williamsburg. And then we come through Charlottesville, Richmond, Stanton, Lynchburg. So we got 23 dealerships and I'm going to get this wrong, 5 or 6 markets total that we have across all of them. And then we're actually going to be opening up. We have one store, or we have a section of stores that are in West Virginia. And then we have a store that we're looking to launch coming up in the future that will put us in another state as well. So we'll have a pretty good footprint throughout the whole Northern and Central Virginia area when we're all said and done. But it's pretty good. 23 stores total and all with all that.
Exciting. That's impressive.
And quick growth too. We went from 8 stores to 23 stores, I think, over the course of about 4 or 5 years. It all came together where we just kind of boomed open and started acquiring. Liza's goal had been to kind of keep growing and going, and she's definitely doing it. So I'm sure we're nowhere near stopping at this point in time. There'll be more.
Yeah. The 2024 word, expand.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And Liza certainly is, a great dealer operator. All right. And it just shows you what all of us can do in this industry, right? The advancement. So she's done a wonderful job. Robert, thank you for all you do for Fixed Operations. And I'm looking forward to seeing you at the upcoming Fixed Ops Roundtable. You're on a whole lot of segments, a lot of panels, as always. I remember when you first came on and we talked to Ed Roberts, by you doing your first panel. And, now here you are all the time. Robert Migs.
You got it. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
So, all right. So Vanessa, one more time for everybody, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, and by the way, we've had a lot of tickets fly out of here in the last 24 hours or so. What is the best way, Vanessa, people can get those tickets?
Yeah. So our next event, the Knights of the Round Table, is coming up. It's this month, going into the next month as well, January 29th through February 1st. And you can get your complimentary tickets right now. All you have to do is sign up at fixedopsroundtable.com and you will get your tickets in your email. So make sure to sign up.
Excellent. And you know what? A lot of people say, why do you say how to get the tickets? It's because a lot of people contact like me on social media. They say, I want to go to that event. How do I get the tickets? Like, okay. Didn't we tell you like 50 times? Okay, we'll do it another time. So, but
you must not have posted it enough, Dad.
Right.
So, Robert, we got to get you dressed up like in the medieval costumes and stuff.
Man, I will see what I can put together. It's gonna be tough. I know I did it on the Avengers one pretty good, but I'll see what I can come up with. I might have something to come out.
All right. Well, on behalf of Robert Migs at Carter Myers Automotive, very grateful to you, Robert, for all you do. Katrina Ness and Vanessa Collins, I'm Ted Ings, and we're going to see you Wednesday night. We're going to have another special guest here. Her name is Rebecca Chernick, and she and Marco were the two people who inspired to get the Fixed Ops Roundtable going 5 years ago. We're going to start celebrating our 5th anniversary. You'll see the graphics coming out on that. And Rebecca will be here Wednesday night to tell you how that all happened, how it all came about. So fascinating story. So everybody, thanks for being here. We'll see you Wednesday.